Good morning, America. ICE raid. Hundreds detained at an immigration roundup in Georgia as Chicago braces for federal action. Local officials anticipating an ICE crackdown.
People are nervous to walk their kids to school.
As President Trump warns that a federal surge could come soon.
Danger zone. More than 25 million Americans under threat for severe weather and flash flooding in the Northeast as wildfire smoke affects air quality in the West.
ABC News exclusive. Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky talks with our Martha Raddatz.
3 weeks after the summit in Alaska, still no meeting between you and Putin.
What Zelensky said about the delay and the offer to meet with Vladimir Putin in Moscow.
Job market jitters with unemployment going up and lower than expected hires. What the president is saying about the new report, plus welcome news for wannabe homeowners.
They're flying. The Trump administration moving to scrap a Biden-era plan to compensate passengers for delayed or canceled flights. What this could mean for your travel plans.
Jumbo jackpot. Tonight's Powerball hits $1.8 billion, the second largest in history. The odds of your winning big.
The NFL is back with a Week 1 matchup in Brazil. The Chargers' wild win over the Chiefs, featuring an electric quarterback face-off.
What a night for Justin Herbert.
And a face-off of a different kind for Travis Kelce. Plus, American Amanda Anisimova aims to ace the women's final at the U.S. Open.
Live from ABC News headquarters in New York City, it's Saturday. Good morning, America.
Can't touch this.
Like MC Hammer,
yeah.
what?
Good morning, America. Happy Saturday to you. Thanks so much for joining us. We're excited to be back together. It's been a couple weeks, guys. Yeah.
Fall reset for us.
Absolutely.
Not technically fall just yet.
Almost.
Yeah,
we're
here
getting
we go.
there. So much
we're there.
sports action this weekend, including week 2 of college football. Desmond Howard, one of our favorites, breaks it all down from Oklahoma, where the Sooners take on Michigan today.
Also ahead this morning, the latest on vaccines as Florida moves to end mandates. New York and other states are making the shots easier to get. We have the latest on that. And a huge day for Catholics. Hundreds of LGBTQ Catholics and their families descended on Rome for a Holy Year pilgrimage. Plus, we take you inside a pivotal meeting with Pope Leo.
Yeah, incredible images out of Italy. But we do begin here with the next battleground in President Trump's immigration crackdown in major U.S. cities. Chicago now bracing for possible expanded ICE operations today. And Alex Stone is right there live in Chicago. Alex, good morning to you.
Gio, good morning to you. Yeah, Chicago is on edge today. Take a look at this anti-scale fencing, the fencing that is around the federal building here in downtown Chicago. Worries about protests this weekend as people here are watching what's going on elsewhere. This morning, as the Chicago area braces for a surge in immigration enforcement.
For Homeland Security, we have a search warrant for the whole site.
On Friday in Georgia.
We need construction to cease immediately. We need all work to end on the site right now.
This video, posted on social media by a local activist, shows the Department of Homeland Security raiding a Hyundai plant.
This, in fact, was the largest single-site enforcement operation in the history of Homeland Security investigations.
The video inside of a construction site at their electric vehicle plant in the community of Ellabelle. 475 people taken into custody, most of them South Korean nationals.
This investigation is focused on ensuring accountability for those who violate the law and uphold the rule of law.
Hyundai saying those detained at its site actually work for a network of subcontractors who have been building a battery plant. Also this week, outside of Syracuse, New York, federal agents moving into this food manufacturing plant. The owner saying he thinks all 69 workers detained are legally allowed to work in the U.S., and some are already back at work. And today in Chicago, there are signs of what could be on the way here. Boarded up windows at Nice Processing Center where detainees could be held.
Pray for these men and women to have compassion.
A prayer service outside of a naval station, ABC News has learned, is expected to house federal agents, and fencing outside of the federal building.
They're just grabbing people. Everyone I know is scared. People are nervous to walk their kids to school.
President Trump indicating a federal surge is coming to Chicago, possibly today, but he won't confirm timing.
We have the right to do it. because I have an obligation to protect this country.
Chicago leaders fear their city will be impacted like Los Angeles was in June, where ICE operations led to large protests and violence in the streets. National Guard and active duty Marines were called in by President Trump there. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker says National Guard troops are not needed here.
Part of their kind of nefarious plan is begin with ICE, cause mayhem on the ground, and by doing that, say that there's a need for military troops on the ground.
And guys, back here in Chicago, community groups are actually texting one another, looking out for federal agents. They say they have not seen anything, but the White House says it's coming. Janae.
All right, and we'll be watching for that. Alex, thank you so much. Now we're going to turn to the severe weather threat this weekend. So let's go to Brittany Bell from our New York station, WABC, who's joining us live from Huntsville, Alabama this morning. Good morning to you, Brittany.
And good morning, Janae. So parts of Texas were hit very hard by severe weather yesterday. I want to show you this scary video of a football game, a high school football game in Anna, Texas, that had to be postponed because of a severe thunderstorm. You can see just torrential rainfall and gusty winds. And that severe threat today, that shifts farther to the northeast. So when it comes to the timing, the I-95 corridor is going to see a line of gusty thunderstorms starting around 2 to 3 p.m. and really firing up and intensifying throughout the rest of this afternoon and this evening. That highest risk for severe weather, that strands from Portland all the way to New York City and Philly. Large hail and damaging winds are the main concerns. Whit?
All right, we'll stay on top of that. Brittany, thanks so much. Now to the job market slowdown and the Trump administration's response to the latest employment report. ABC News senior White House correspondent Selena Wang is in Washington with more. Selena, good morning.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, that report showed a dramatic slowdown in hiring. Yet the president is brushing off the numbers, saying economic growth is coming soon. But many economists warn it's his trade war and immigration crackdown that are causing real cracks in the economy.
Overnight, President Trump downplaying the dismal new jobs report.
We're going to have tremendous job growth.
That's despite employers adding just 22,000 jobs in August, less than a third of what economists expected. Unemployment rising to 4.3%, the highest in nearly 4 years. And revised numbers for June showing employment actually fell by 13,000 jobs, the first loss in almost 5 years.
What we've seen is an unprecedented surge in uncertainty with regard to trade policy. It creates people to hesitate on making big spending decisions. It also creates firms to hesitate on hiring and making big investments.
Still, Trump insists his trade policy will spark a renaissance in American manufacturing.
Wait till these factories start to open up that are being built all over the country.
But the data shows 78,000 losses in manufacturing since the start of the year as tariffs drive up the cost of supplies.
This is a no fire, no hire job market. If you're thinking about your own job security, if you're thinking about looking for work, this is a situation that doesn't give you any added confidence.
31-year-old Kyle Clark, who's worked for years as a technical editor, hasn't been able to find a job since April.
I applied for 44 jobs and I've had 7 responses. It's a roller coaster.
But this week's jobs report, guys, does make it almost certain that the Federal Reserve will cut interest rates when it meets in a couple of weeks in order to stimulate the economy. Now, that could mean lower borrowing costs, so your car loan or mortgage rate could go down. And this does come as mortgage rates just had its biggest one-day drop in over a year on Friday. The 30-year fixed mortgage rate finally breaking out of the high 6% range where it's been stuck for months. But Gio, the question here is this. Is this enough to get people back into the market as home prices have remained stubbornly high?
And a lot of people, Selena, are waiting for those mortgage rates to keep dropping. Selena, thank you so much for your reporting. Meanwhile, Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky this morning is rejecting an invitation from Vladimir Putin for him to go to Moscow. President Trump suggested after his Alaska summit with Putin that Zelensky would meet with Putin soon. Well, at least 7 countries have offered to host, but Zelensky told ABC's chief global affairs correspondent Martha Raddatz why he would not be going to Russia. Take a look.
When you think about where we are right now, 3 weeks after the summit in Alaska, still no meeting between you and Putin. He said he will meet if you come to Moscow.
He can come to Kiev. You know, if a person doesn't want to meet during the war, of course he can propose something which can't be acceptable by me or by others. It's understandable. I can't go to Moscow when my country is under missiles, under attacks each day. I can't go to this capital of these terrorists. It's understandable, and he understands it.
And you can see more of Martha's exclusive interview with President Zelensky tomorrow on ABC's This Week. Janae?
All right, Gio. President Trump has signed an executive order making the Department of War the secondary name for the Department of Defense. Workers changed over the signs late Friday. Under the order, Secretary Hegseth may also use the title Secretary of War. The formal renaming of the department would require congressional action. The department was known as the Department of War from the 1700s until the name was changed by an act of Congress shortly after World War II. Defense Secretary Hegseth said the name change was about, quote, restoring the warrior ethos in the military.
We're tracking new details overnight on a deadly plane crash near Denver. Jacqueline Lee joins us now with the latest. Jacqueline, good morning.
Wait, good morning. The NTSB says preliminary information shows no distress calls were received from the pilot before it crashed. Now, this was a local flight out of Centennial Airport, and officials are looking for witnesses and surveillance video to figure out what happened. This morning, the FAA and the NTSB are investigating a small plane crash in a populated area just outside Denver that left 2 dead.
And I was working, and we just heard a loud boom. Flames were pretty high. They was probably about 100 feet in the air.
Video obtained by ABC News appears to show the plane circling the airport moments before the crash, half a mile southeast of the local Centennial Airport. Flight radar data shows the single-engine Beechcraft was performing touch-and-goes, landing and then taking off again, training that aviation experts say is often done by students or new pilots. The pilot suddenly not responding to the tower.
Stanza 463 Tango, tower, how do you hear?
Then another pilot spotting a crash from above and calling it in.
Tower, there's smoke off the left side. Looks like he went down.
The 2 people on board did not survive. The plane damaging a data center nearby, potentially combustible generators, fire crews rushing in.
Battalion 4, Tower 45, Medic 42. This is going to be the same call at the airport.
South Metro Fire was notified of an explosion early this morning. We were not aware if it was a plane crash at the time or not until we did arrive on scene.
Authorities say nobody on the ground was hurt, and fire crews were able to put out the flames. While there was light rain in the area, the cause of the accident is still under investigation. Crews have begun wreckage recovery, and the plane will be moved to a secure facility for further examination. Gio.
Okay, Jacqueline, thank you so much. Meanwhile, a man who authorities say is in the U.S. illegally now stands accused in the killing of a 19-year-old woman in Maryland. Dakara Thompson's body was found last week, days after her family reported her missing. Authorities now charging Hugo Hernandez-Mendez with first and second-degree murder in her death. They say that Thompson was killed inside the suspect's bedroom, and there is surveillance video of her getting into a car that he had access to. Now, detectives are trying to determine if the two knew each other. Janae.
All right, now to the widening national rift over vaccinations. Florida and New York taking significant action as medical providers try to sort out the new federal policy on COVID shots. Olivia Rubin joins us with the latest this morning. Good morning, Olivia.
Janae, good morning. You mentioned Florida and New York both going in opposite directions. And this morning, states are trying to get around the Trump administration's new restrictions on the COVID-19 vaccine. The governor of New York, Kathy Hochul, signing an executive order allowing pharmacists in the state to give the shot essentially to anyone who wants it. Colorado and New Mexico have done the same, all efforts to restore access to the vaccine after the FDA severely restricted it, approving a new version of the shot only for adults 65 or older or young people with an underlying condition. The CDC also has not signed off on any recommendations for this year's COVID vaccine, Janae.
So, Olivia, for the millions of Americans who may want to get a COVID vaccine, how are these actions possibly creating new roadblocks for them?
Well, bottom line, it's creating confusion on the ground at the drugstore. Providers like CVS saying they're now going state by state with how to administer this shot. All of this, of course, unfolding under the leadership of HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who has pushed false information that is now reverberating beyond just COVID. Florida this week becoming the first state ever to say they will try to drop all vaccine mandates in the state. Think chickenpox, measles, mumps, including for children to attend school. Now, pediatricians in that state sounding the alarm, saying, quote, theme parks, grocery stores, movie theaters, sports arenas will all become places for contagious disease to spread easily. Whit.
All right, Olivia Rubin, thank you for that. Now to New York City Mayor Eric Adams saying he plans to stay in the race for re-election as an independent. This follows reports that the Trump administration had been considering a possible job offer to Adams as ambassador to Saudi Arabia. Adams exiting the race could have been seen by some as a potential boost to Andrew Cuomo, who is also running as an independent against Democratic primary winner Zohran Mamdani. Gio?
Okay, Whit, we're going to turn now to important news for travelers about that proposed rule to compensate passengers for delays and cancellations. Melissa Adon has the details now. And Melissa, so many people are talking about this. Good morning.
Absolutely, Gio, right? No one enjoys delayed or canceled flights, right? We know that. But look, this airline compensation plan first brought on by the Biden administration is getting scrapped. The Department of Transportation says it's dropping the proposal, which sought to require airlines to compensate passengers starting at $200 upwards to even $775, plus lodging, meals, and other travel expenses when there were cancellations or significant delays caused by the airline. That includes mechanical or system failures. But now, under the Trump administration, the DOT is looking to scrap that plan, and airlines have pushed back. Industry trade group Airlines for America is actually welcoming the move, saying this rule could have led to higher airfares. Now, currently, airlines are required to offer refunds if a flight is canceled and a passenger chooses not to fly, and that is not expected to change. But the Consumer Federation of America points to just how expensive delays and cancellations can become when you have to pay for those unexpected travel expenses and even sometimes those rebooking fees. Well, as for the consumers, experts say know your rights. There's a DOT consumer rights dashboard, and that's clear. It lists every U.S. airline and what they are expected to provide for passengers. Janae.
All right, Melissa, thank you for that. Tributes pouring in for Joseph McNeil, a legend of the civil rights movement. In 1960, McNeil and 3 other college freshmen began sit-ins at what was then a whites-only lunch counter at a Woolworths in Greensboro, North Carolina. Within months, lunch counter protests had spread to dozens of cities, sparking a surge of youth activism. Part of that lunch counter is now part of the Smithsonian. McNeil went on to a career in the Air Force, retiring as a brigadier general. Joseph McNeil was 83 years old. What a legacy he leaves behind.
That was such a pivotal moment for the civil rights movement.
Right, now to the NFL season kickoff. Overnight, the Kansas City Chiefs and the LA Chargers taking the gridiron to Sao Paulo, Brazil. Ooh. How cool is that? Ike Ajachi is here with all the highlights. Ike, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, guys. How about that? The NFL kicking off Friday with that global showcase. The Chiefs and Chargers squaring off in Sao Paulo, Brazil. And it was a rematch between 2 playoff contenders from last season. Chargers QB Justin Herbert was nothing short of spectacular. He tossed 3 touchdowns and racked up over 300 passing yards, carving up the Chiefs' defense with sharp throws and clutch playmaking. How about this? Wideout Quentin Johnson hauled in 2 of those scores, while Keenan Allen, back from the dead, added another for the Chargers. Now, the drama, it did run deep, highlighted by Herbert's late-game 19-yard scramble, and on 3rd and 14 to ice the win, snapping KC's 17-game win streak in a close contest. Now, how about this? Patrick Mahomes, he did try to keep the Chiefs alive, engineering a late rally with the scrambling touchdown, but KC's hopes, well, it slipped away early after an injury to young receiver Xavier Worthy on the first drive and a missed extra point. The Chargers beat the Chiefs 27-21. Now, more on that drama. Travis Kelce on the receiving end of this hit to the face by Chargers Tier Tart, who, get this, wasn't even ejected for this. Now, officials say it was because an open hand contact to the head wasn't considered a disqualifying action. So basically a slap to the face is okay. Whatever.
Yeah, what? Wow. We need to check the rule book on that.
Yeah. Now, looking ahead, Sunday's NFL slate is packed. It's really packed. The Bills are hosting the Ravens in primetime. The Lions taking a trip to Lambeau Field. And Aaron Rodgers making his Steelers debut against the team who released him, the New York Football Jets.
Your New York Football Jets, right?
Let's go.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it, Ike.
You got it.
Apparently there's more to talk about here. What are we
Apparently there
talking
is.
about?
What am I talking about? I completely forgot. There's more sports, guys.
Yeah, okay. Got it.
The U.S. Open, that's right. Carlos Alcaraz actually defeating Novak Djokovic to book a showdown with Jannik Sinner in the men's final. This is marking the first time the same two men have actually played each other in 3 consecutive Grand Slams finals within one season. Now, over on the women's side, Aryna Sabalenka and Amanda Anisimova will go head-to-head after Anisimova's massive upset win over number 2 Iga Swiatek and comeback win against the resurgent Naomi Osaka. Now you can see the U.S. Open women's final starting today at 4 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. We do not mean to forget to talk about tennis, guys.
That's right. Yeah, it was a very smooth transition.
Oh, yeah, we're good.
We planned it that way all along.
All right,
Thank you
so much. Still ahead here, ESPN's Desmond Howard has the latest on Arch Manning and the biggest college football games this weekend.
Plus, some of one brand's frozen veggies are being pulled from shelves over potential listeria concerns. We'll tell you what to look out for.
And that $1.8 billion jackpot. Ever wonder what you could buy with all that cash? We got some ideas.
Yeah, I wonder.
Let's talk about it.
I'm wondering.
Cause when it's on sight, it's on sight. All of it, wait, it's a celebration.
And welcome back to GMA. That's First Place by Justin Bieber. And he could be eyeing first place on the music charts with his surprise album drop. His latest project, Swag 2, made its grand debut with little notice to his fan base. More details on Justin's new music later in Pop News. I'm going to have to download that. I feel like that's going to be a good gym jam today.
Biebs is back, absolutely. Yeah. All right, let's take a look at some of the other top stories that we're following on this Saturday morning. Authorities in Washington, D.C. are searching for a third suspect in the June murder of a Capitol Hill intern. 2 17-year-olds have already been arrested and charged with killing Eric Tarpinian Jackham. They say that he was killed by stray bullets. Authorities say they plan to charge all 3 as adults.
The FDA says the Indico brand has recalled some of its peas and carrots as well as mixed vegetables due to possible listeria contamination. The products were sold in 7 states in Washington, D.C. in 2.5-pound clear plastic bags. The products have use-by dates of June 2027. The company says no illnesses have been reported.
And new questions this morning about what really happened on the field between the Eagles' Jalen Carter and the Cowboys' Dak Prescott. Carter was ejected from Thursday night's NFL game for spitting on Prescott, but some images from the game may tell a different story about who may have spit first. Carter may still face additional discipline from the league. It's not clear if Prescott could face any penalty here.
Spitting, slapping, the season's off to here we go. This is an unusual 911 call for some Florida deputies here. Take a look at the video. The suspect, a wild hog that busted through a glass door and then sprinted through a home. After a bit of a chase here, deputies corralled the suspect and returned her to the wild.
That's a strong hog.
Yep.
Well, look inside.
The deputy had the rope and everything.
All right.
Yeah.
Now to week 2 of the college football season. Giving us the lowdown is ESPN college football analyst Desmond Howard. He's in Norman, Oklahoma for College Game Day, where they are already pumped. Good morning to you, Desmond.
Good morning to my favorite morning crew. It's great to see you guys. I'm here in Norman, Oklahoma. Guys, you know what type of town this is? This is a horse downtown, baby. This is what we do here in Norman, Oklahoma. Yeah,
they are
were very happy at the results in Columbus, Ohio last week. Yes, they were.
All right, Desmond. So Texas quarterback Arch Manning, he's the nephew of Peyton and Eli, grandson of Archie. He had a rough first start. Ooh, I hear them. Losing to Ohio State. Today, he's making his first home start when the Longhorns face San Jose State. Do you think he'll bounce back?
Yeah, I tell you what, guys, listen, you look at their next 3 games, and of course they will bounce back. San Jose State, UTEP, and then Sam Houston. So I believe that Sarkisian and his coaching staff, they're going to use these next 3 games to bounce back, gain some confidence, because it was a rough outing for Arch Manning and for the Longhorns as a whole. We had huge expectations of Arch coming to this season, and don't forget, people said he was going to win the Heisman. He was the favorite. But when you lose a game like that against a team like Ohio State, it really diminishes your chances. The next big game on their schedule will be October 4th. That's when they have to travel down to Gainesville and they have to wrestle with the Gators. So yeah, the next 3 games, they'll be okay. But check them out on October 4th when they have to play the Florida Gators.
Yeah, that's right. I know those overrated chants had nothing to do with you, by the way, Desmond. Just to clarify for our viewers at home. Let's talk about Ole Miss and Kentucky Open. They're opening up SEC play this afternoon. What are you watching for in this first conference game of the season?
Well, guys, a year ago, so Ole Miss, they were cruising, right? They looked like they were going to make the CFP, and then they were like about 17.5-point favorite at home in Oxford, and in comes the Wildcats of Kentucky, upset Ole Miss. Ole Miss did not make it to the CFP, so we're looking at a game where, you know, these players for Ole Miss may be trying to avenge a loss that took place a year ago. They're 8.5-point favorites on the road. I think that Kentucky's going to try to make this game sloppy, drag them down in the mud, try to keep it close, and then try to eke out a win late in the fourth quarter. But obviously, Austin Simmons and Ole Miss, those guys have a lot of firepower. They should win, but it just might be a little closer than the experts think.
And Des, College Game Day is right there in Oklahoma right now, where your alma mater, Michigan, is facing the Sooners. So what are the keys to this Big Ten SEC showdown?
Yeah, so I was watching Brent Venables, the head coach of Oklahoma. Fantastic head coach. He's done a great job. He was talking about the battle in the trenches. Now you're looking at Michigan bringing in a quarterback in Bryce Underwood, true freshman, second start, first start on the road, SEC territory, and you have John Mateer. This guy was the best dual threat quarterback in the portal during the offseason, and obviously Brent Venables and them, they wouldn't get him. I see this duel between 2 quarterbacks, but more importantly, the line of scrimmage. Who can control the trenches? Who can control the line of scrimmage? That's what's going to be key in tonight's big matchup on ABC at 7:30 Eastern.
Well, we know who they're rooting for behind you. Des, thank you so much. We appreciate you, my man. And we have a big day of college football ahead here, starting this morning with College Game Day at 9 Eastern on ESPN. Then a great triple feature featuring on ABC, starting with San Jose State versus Texas at noon Eastern.
That's right. Looking forward to all of it. I know. It's that season. That's the one good thing about summer winding down is that you get football season. It gets you back into it.
So coming up here on Good Morning America, what Pope Leo is saying about LGBTQ Catholics.
A special mass is being held today in Rome, and Will Ganz is here because you spoke with Father James Martin. He's been so supportive of LGBTQ Catholics, and he actually got to meet with Pope Leo.
Yes, and they spoke in English for the very first time, speaking with the Pope in English. How exciting is that? But depending on who you ask, the Catholic Church may not have always felt welcoming to all types of people. But in 2023, Pope Francis said in a prepared speech, the Church is a place for todos, todos, todos. Everyone, everyone, everyone. And this week gave us our first real glimpse into how Pope Leo feels about that inclusive approach.
This morning in Rome, a Jubilee Mass is being celebrated for more than 1,000 LGBTQ Catholics and their families. It's the culmination of a significant week for the subgroup of the 1.4 billion Catholics worldwide. This week, the Vatican welcoming Father James Martin, known for his ministry with LGBTQ plus Catholics, for an audience with Pope Leo XIV.
The message I got from him was basically a continuation of Pope Francis's approach to LGBTQ Catholics, which is, I think, can be summarized as openness and listening.
That message and the meeting itself is welcome news for LGBTQ plus Catholics and their families, who have been speculating about Pope Leo's approach to the queer Catholic community since his election 120 days ago.
No matter what Pope Leo says, I will still be Catholic. So let's buckle up, let's wait our turn, and let's pray for our Pope.
Father Martin, a Jesuit priest from New York City, met with Pope Francis a couple times, now meeting with Pope Leo for half an hour in the Apostolic Palace. Father Martin saying he offered 5 suggestions to the Holy Father for how dioceses and parishes can welcome LGBTQ plus Catholics. Those suggestions ranging from acknowledging that LGBTQ plus people exist at all and exist in the Church, all the way up to advocating for them whenever there are incidents of violence, bullying, or harassment in the community.
We also have to remember he's running the whole church. So what seems kind of bland in New York, or sort of, shrugging our shoulders in New York, is a big deal in Nairobi and Eastern Europe, right? So he has to sort of balance prophecy with the unity, too. That's an important thing for him.
In a time of rolled back protections for LGBTQ plus Americans, many turning to their faith for a sense of hope.
What do you hope that LGBTQ Catholics take from your audience with Pope Leo?
That this is a good guy, a great priest, who's in the right job, who's a good listener. I just trust him as, someone who's a prayerful guy who knows that the Holy Spirit's going to help him. And that's just the strength of who he is. He's a very holy person.
Father Jim also told me how remarkable it is to speak with the Pope in English since there's no waiting on translators. The conversation was longer and clearer. There's no wondering if idioms are being understood or if jokes are landing. And he did make a point of saying that Pope Leo has a very good sense of humor.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? He's so good keeping us posted. He just posted from that Mass saying that Bishop Francesco Savino says it is time to restore dignity to everyone, especially those who have been denied it. So some historic words being spoken there in Rome.
Yeah.
So cool.
Thank you for bringing that to us.
Thanks,
we appreciate
guys.
it.
Grandma, we won the lottery. Now, let me see here. 4, 245, 21. You got all 6 numbers. Yes, we won.
Right? I think that's how it would go, right? Something like that. That's that great scene from the movie Lottery Ticket, a scene that all hope will play out in our homes after tonight's Powerball drawing. Ashin Singh is here to crunch all the numbers for us. The odds aren't so good, but the dream is big.
The dream is big, and I feel like this $1.8 billion ticket is just begging to be claimed at this point. The mania is continuing into this weekend as people get ready for this jaw-dropping $1.8 billion jackpot. It's the second largest jackpot in U.S. history, only behind that record-setting $2.04 billion prize won in California back in 2022. On Friday, game officials bumped the jackpots from $1.7 to $1.8 billion with a cash option of $826.4 million before taxes. Whoever wins gets a choice. Take the lump sum now or one payment up front, followed by annual installments that grow 5% for the next 30 years. This is the 42nd drawing since the jackpot was won last back in May, and it's already produced more than 100 $1 million winning tickets and more than 1,000 winning tickets worth $50,000 or more. So if you shoot for the moon, you still may land up with a handful of stars if you choose to play. Now, guys, your odds of hitting that jackpot still just 1 in 292 million. Or think of it this way. 1.8 billion would be approximately 64 flights into space on Blue Origin. And you guys, if you want to talk New York terms and you're not already too hungry, if you brought that 1.8 billion to the bodega downstairs, we would be feasting. I'm talking 300 million bacon, egg, and cheeses. It's nearly enough for every American.
The whole country.
We'd have 88% of the country covered with bacon, egg, and cheese.
Wow. Okay.
That's incredible.
I like it. Never tell me the odds, though.
No,
as
never.
Han Solo once said.
Wait, we're talking jackpot. You didn't say it. Your famous line.
Can't win if you don't play.
There you go.
We'll be
Thank you
back.
so much, and we'll be right back.
Good morning, America. It's our second hour. ICE raid. Hundreds detained at an immigration roundup in Georgia. As Chicago braces for federal action, local officials anticipating an ICE crackdown.
People are nervous to walk their kids to school.
As President Trump warns that a federal surge could come soon.
Students are heading back to the classroom and back on the school bus. Terry, how often are you seeing people just drive by with that stop sign out?
Multiple times every day.
This morning, new technology using AI-powered cameras to catch drivers who ignore the stop sign on school buses and the cutting-edge tech to keep kids safe.
Bieber is back again. The singer surprising fans with a new album, doubling down with Swag Part 2. The new tracks and what they reveal about his life with wife Hailey Bieber and son Jack.
And dogs on campus. Students heading to college with their four-legged friends by their side.
To go spin.
The perks of pets at school.
I could be having the worst day ever, but I can come home and give my dog a hug.
And what you need to know before you go. As we say, good morning, America.
Live from ABC News headquarters in New York City, it's Saturday. Good morning, America.
I love how
good-looking
Janae,
building, ain't it?
Yeah, I love what Janae just said. She's like, that's what our building looks like?
I haven't seen that angle. That's a beautiful
the
building.
rooftop gardens
Oh,
and
my
everything.
goodness.
Take a walk.
Good morning, America. It is good to see you. You hear that song, and that's because coming up here, Dr. Adam Christman and his pup, Clark W. Griswold, are here.
Best name for a dog ever.
Best name. Tips for students bringing their pets to college with them, something more and more campuses are actually allowing.
That's a great idea. We'll get into all of that. Also, we're talking about college football. SEC Nation host Laura Rutledge dives into the Week 2 headlines.
All right, a lot to look forward to there. Also ahead, an ex-pilot pleads guilty for causing a mid-air scare on an Alaska Airlines flight. The latest on the case and his lifetime ban he's now facing.
Yeah, and we are going to begin here in Chicago because Chicago is bracing for possible expanded ICE operations as President Trump ramps up immigration crackdowns in major cities. And Alex Stone joins us live from Chicago with the details on this. Alex, good morning again.
Gio, good morning again to you. And tensions are definitely high in Chicago right now. Protests are planned for later on today, but actual ICE activity, nothing has been seen yet. There are a lot of people who are on alert here in Chicago. There is fencing that is now up around the federal building here. People here are watching what's going on elsewhere. This morning, as the Chicago area braces for a surge in immigration enforcement.
For Homeland Security, we have a search warrant for the whole site.
On Friday in Georgia,
we need construction to cease immediately. We need all work to end on the site right now.
This video posted on social media by a local activist shows the Department of Homeland Security raiding a Hyundai plant.
This, in fact, was the largest single-site enforcement operation in the history of Homeland Security investigations.
The video inside of a construction site at their electric vehicle plant in the community of Ellabelle. 475 people taken into custody, most of them South Korean nationals. Hyundai saying those detained at its site actually work for a network of subcontractors who have been building a battery plant. And today in Chicago, there are signs of what could be on the way here. Boarded up windows at an ICE processing center where detainees could be held.
Everyone I know is scared.
President Trump indicating a federal surge is coming to Chicago, possibly today, but he won't confirm timing.
We have the right to do it because I have an obligation to protect this country.
Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker says National Guard troops are not needed here.
Part of their kind of nefarious plan is begin with ICE, cause mayhem on the ground, and by doing that, say that there's a need for military troops on the ground.
And guys, like we saw in L.A. in June, there are community groups here in Chicago who are on the lookout for any federal activity, actually texting one another. They say they haven't seen anything yet. The White House says it's coming. Gio.
All right, Alex, thank you so much for that. Meanwhile, we're all going to talk here about the job market slowdown and the Trump administration's response to the latest weak employment report. ABC senior White House correspondent Selena Wang in Washington with more on this. Selena, good morning.
Hey, Gio, good morning. Yeah, that report showed a dramatic slowdown in hiring, yet the president is brushing off the numbers, saying economic growth is coming soon. But many economists warn that it is his trade war and immigration crackdown that are causing real cracks in the economy. So let's just break down these numbers. Employers added just 22,000 jobs in August. That's less than a third of what economists expected. Unemployment rose to 4.3%. That's the highest in nearly 4 years. And revised numbers for June showed employment actually fell by 13,000 jobs. That is the first loss in almost 5 years. Now, President Trump is still insisting that his trade policy is going to spark this renaissance and boost in American manufacturing, but the data shows 78,000 losses in manufacturing since the start of the year as tariffs have been driving up the cost of supplies. Now, some economists are calling this a no-fire, no-hire market. What that means is that workers who have a job are frozen in place and those who want a job are frozen now. But guys, what this weak report does mean is that it's almost certain that the Federal Reserve will cut interest rates when it meets in a couple of weeks in order to stimulate the economy. That could mean lower borrowing costs, so your car loan or your mortgage rate could go down. So a bit of a silver lining there, Janae.
A bit of a silver lining, Selena. Thank you. We're also following this morning a guilty plea from a former Alaska Airlines pilot who tried to cut a plane's engines mid-flight. Joseph Emerson took a plea deal in both his federal and state cases. In a court filing, Emerson said he was experiencing the after effects of psychedelic mushrooms he had taken 2 days before the October 2023 flight. Emerson is banned from ever flying a plane again. The plea deal spared Emerson prison time for state charges, but he still could face a federal prison sentence.
All right, we're going to shift gears here because we've been talking about the football season, right, as we get closer to fall. And it was a big weekend. College football is a big weekend. So SEC Live and SEC Nation, NFL Live and SEC Nation host Laura Rutledge joins us with the latest on what fans should look out for. Laura, good morning to you.
Well, good morning, Whit. And as you can see here in Missouri, we are ready for some college football. This Kansas-Missouri rivalry dates back to the Civil War, and they really don't like each other on either side. It's been dormant for a few years. They're bringing it back tonight, and it's going to be crazy. Also, here on ABC today, something to look out for. At noon, you'll see Texas, Arch Manning having a chance for redemption after what we saw last week, losing to Ohio State. And then at 3:30, the only conference game in the SEC between Ole Miss and Kentucky. Little revenge game for Lane Kiffin, the Ole Miss head coach. The nightcap is incredible on ABC between Michigan and Oklahoma. An excellent quarterback matchup. But again, here in Missouri, it feels like fall. You got the crisp chill in the air, and we are ready for a great day. Truman, get over here. Truman. Let's wave at the guys. Truman wanted me to let you guys know. He says, go Tigers, okay?
Laura.
Hey,
Laura,
Janae's fired up.
I am fired up. I was just telling Whit I miss tailgating at Mizzou with the crisp fall air. Oh my gosh, I've got goosebumps seeing that. Man.
A little flashback for you.
Yes.
Love it. All right, of course, you can see more from Laura on SEC Nation today. That's at 10 Eastern on the SEC Network. Then check out triple header of must-see games starting at noon Eastern right here on ABC.
Your love for your alma mater rolls
beats
deep.
College football, my goodness.
Coming up here on GMA in our morning menu, the AI-powered cameras that are keeping kids safe when they get on and off school buses.
Also ahead, Will is helping us celebrate a holiday. I hear it involves ice cream, and he's got a head start.
Looking forward to that. And Tori Johnson here with steals for your kitchen and your home. We'll be right back.
Okay, we are back now with our GMA cover story. As students head back to the classroom, some school buses, they are using AI-powered cameras to crack down on dangerous drivers. I got the chance to ride along to see how this works. It's just unbelievable. Take a look at this.
Layla, come here. No, wait! Stop!
The scenes are heart-stopping. Vehicles narrowly missing children, speeding by school buses with a stop arm out and lights flashing. This car nearly hitting 2 children waiting for the bus in Indiana earlier this year. And as more school districts begin classes across the country, a company called Bus Patrol is using AI-powered cameras on more than 40,000 buses in 22 states to catch vehicle violations. The Lower Merion School District outside Philadelphia is using the cameras this school year.
That stop sign comes out, those cameras start recording.
They took us on a routine bus route to demonstrate how it works, and in just 30 minutes, we saw several possible violations.
Okay, so we have the stop sign out.
This car ignoring the stop arm as it makes a turn past the bus.
That car that turned should have stopped.
So even across the street, they should have stopped.
Everything stops.
And multiple cars going past the bus on the other side of the road, failing to stop despite the flashing lights and visible stop sign. According to police, once a violation is identified on the camera, the company flags it to the local police department for review. And if they issue a ticket, it's a hefty fine, $300 in Pennsylvania for a first-time violation.
This system allows us to be at every stop for every school bus.
In the nearby Marple Newtown School District, police say they ticketed more than 2,000 drivers ignoring the stop arm since that school district installed the Bus Patrol cameras at the beginning of the 2024 school year. And the Lower Merion School District is hoping it'll make a difference here.
It's just not worth the chance of hurting a child and having to deal with that pain for the rest of your life.
I mean, it is such promising technology, but you got to remember, even if you're on the opposite side of the road, you have to stop too.
Yeah.
And that's what we saw. All of those drivers we saw, they weren't stopping on that opposite side.
Important reminder, we've got to keep kids safe. Thank you for that.
It is time now for Pop News. Will Gans, you got some treats for us today, don't you?
I do have some treats. We'll get to those in just a second. But first, we begin Pop News with double the swag, y'all. Justin Bieber just dropped a brand new album called Swag 2. It features songs songs including Mother and You and Love Song. The unexpected debut comes less than 2 months after Bieber dropped his original Swag album, which was also a surprise. Bieber revealing that he was still editing Swag 2 with just hours left before it dropped, which is likely why it didn't start streaming exactly at midnight, as was anticipated. The Bieb sharing his own frustrations about the delay on Instagram. Meanwhile, the new music also shouts out his wife, Hailey Bieber. In a track called I Do, Justin says, "I meant it when I said that I do," adding, "You will always be the one that I choose." Aww. Yes, he also talks about their problems, singing, "If something's going down, yeah, let's communicate it now." And about his son, Jack, Justin sings, "You opened your eyes, that was when I knew," before later adding, "My smile, her grace, both of our hearts. Oh, child, every day you're the best part." Really
beautiful lyrics.
Yeah, opening up that way. New music growing like daisies for Beliebers this summer because Swag 2 marks the first time in Bieber's entire career that he's released 2 albums in the same year, and it comes after fans went 4 years without hearing new music from the Bieb. Swags Part 1 and Part 2 are streaming now.
Hearing the both of you just, at every comment.
Okay, wait, for the record, that's what we're going for in pop news.
Okay,
We
all
like
right.
audience interaction.
All right, audience interaction.
Yeah,
You got
thank
it.
you. So
Next
you could
one.
amp it up a little bit when we talk about
I'll pick up my game.
the Jonas Brothers. It may still it's still technically summer, but the Joe Bros are already in the holiday spirit, dropping the first teaser for a very Jonas Christmas movie. Check it out.
Thank you, London. Merry Christmas.
I haven't seen my kids in like a month. We're gonna get home for Christmas.
We love you.
Are you boys sure you're okay with getting to the plane tomorrow without me? I can stay another night just to make sure you get home okay.
It's one night, Brad. We'll be fine.
Hi.
I'm sorry we never got to hear you sing, Kevin. I'm sure your voice is pretty okay. Thank you.
The Jonas Brothers will face a series of escalating obstacles as they struggle to make it from London to New York in time to spend Christmas with their families. And the tagline, in case you missed it, "Let it bro, let it bro, let it bro."
Let it bro.
Yes.
That's what Gio and I say all the time.
Oh, good. That's right. The movie also features special guests Jesse Tyler Ferguson, KJ Apa, Randall Park, and Billy Lord, and more. A Very Jonas Christmas movie will premiere globally November 14th. On Disney Plus. And finally, you guys, speaking of holidays, today just so happens to be National Coffee Ice Cream Day.
Yeah.
Coffee ice cream.
Oh, wait, was that the wrong?
Yeah, we'll take
Okay.
whatever we can get.
Let it bro.
Okay, yeah.
Let it bro, let it bro, let it bro. Coffee ice cream can be traced back to 1869 when it first appeared as part of a parfait. A century and a half later, we're celebrating with some ice cream courtesy of Cafe Pana. They've been crowned the best ice cream shop in New York by Time Out magazine. They're a viral sensation known for daily changing flavors, but every day is Coffee Ice Cream Day there thanks to their famous affogato. Please enjoy this creme de la creme, or should I say creme de la cafe
This
of
is
coffee ice cream.
phenomenal.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
they
Where's
sent
this
us
from?
Kit Kat Coffee Crunch, espresso double stuffed, cookies and coffee, and mocha almond fudge. Isn't it so
That's
good?
what I have.
The
Cookies and
Kit
coffee.
Kat
So
Coffee
good.
Crunch.
You have
is
espresso double
next
stuff.
level.
Oh.
You have the Kit Kat one.
Oh, yeah.
How's the mocha almond?
So good. It's like take my favorite things, coffee, and then add my other favorite thing, ice cream.
cream.
And then my best friends. Oh. There it is. And I'm a happy guy.
Let it bro.
Will, thank you so much. You guys are lucky. You
Oh, yeah.
finished this.
Oh, you gotta.
I'm gonna head over.
Oh, I'm gonna.
I'll bring
All
the
right,
ice cream with.
I gotta scoot out of the way.
We're going to
here.
Tori.
All right, while you're eating.
It's time now for deals and steals. I know you got good stuff.
Exactly.
These are cute,
We're
Tori.
starting with Green Pan because in addition to your ice cream,
So good.
it's a good time in the fall to get back in the kitchen with nice home-cooked meals. What I love is this is the original nonstick, healthy nonstick, but what I like about these 10-piece sets is that the lids are this tempered glass that you see through, so you can see how your
Oh, that
food
is
is
nice.
doing without releasing the heat, which you typically have to do when you lift the lids. These sets are fabulous. They heat
These
evenly.
colors,
the
too.
colors are beautiful. There's even a fourth color. It's like a whitish one. Fabulous deal on these. 10-piece set slashed in half. Really,
Wow.
really good deal. in your
All
set.
right.
All right, sticking in the kitchen, we've
Ooh.
got Joyce Chen, a big variety, but what they're best known for are these scissors right here, because these are kind of do-everything scissors. So
Okay.
you can clip your herbs, also cut your coupons, you can cut meat, you can literally
Everything
do
in the kitchen.
everything with these. Very very sharp stainless steel blades. It's kind of the do-everything.
This is an incredible wok.
The wok is fabulous. The steamer's great. So if you want to bring a little Asian flair to your fall food, these are really great options. All slash and half starts at $17.
Good deal.
Okay, you know how they say that when there's so much chaos in the world, wake up and make your bed? Well, I say if you have like a crazy day, the nicest thing you can do to reset in the evening is set a beautiful table for dinner.
Look at these incredible patterns.
So the patterns are beautiful. They add just like, they elevate any kind of, any meal, no matter what you're eating.
Yeah.
They just make the kind of, it sets the tone for just a nicer meal, and it doesn't just have to be for special occasions.
Yes.
Like every day when you sit down at the dinner table, bring a little luxury to it. All of these 100% cotton, machine washable, big variety of patterns, all 50% off plus free shipping. We've got you covered with these.
They're really 100% cotton.
They're beautiful. They're beautiful.
Good stuff.
All right, now into the bedroom. Cijo, super soft. This is their 100% viscose from bamboo, so it's sustainably sourced. It's very, very soft, very, very cooling. We've got a big variety of the sheets. We also have just pillowcases if you want those. Duvet covers. If you're ready to sleep cool, the colors are beautiful for fall. This is the one for you, all half price. The pillowcases start at $20.
Amazing. All right, pillows for the pillowcases.
A good pillow. This is one that was recommended by our viewers, Layla. And what you'll notice from this Layla Sleep pillow is that it has this great moldability, and that means that it will conform to the way you're sleeping, and then it will bounce back. So it's not going to flatten over time, but it's going to be able to be the way you want it to be. And they intentionally overstuff it so that if you want to take out some of the fill to find your perfect loft, they're also adjustable.
Oh, that's nice.
So you can really make it truly moldable to your preferences. We've got a couple of sizes, all 50% off, plus free shipping from Layla Sleep.
Love those two words.
I do love free shipping. You know what else I love? A hair towel.
Yes.
Because when you put a heavy body towel on your hair, you are guaranteed to damage your hair. It is way too
heavy. It's gonna make
heavy.
it frizzier, all those things.
Yes, and it breaks it, which is like even worse than frizz. And so both of them, we don't like either of those things. So these from Volo Beauty are fabulous because lightweight, super absorbent. We've got the hair towel. We also have the headband, if that's easier to when you're doing your face. I also love me a good bath wrap so that you can
hands-free,
go hands-free, especially when you got the kids that are grabbing you the phone, you need everything. They got you covered here on Volo, all slash and half. These start at $8.
Good stuff, Tori.
I'm sorry I took you from your ice cream. I'm sorry
I finished it. All good.
Okay.
We've partnered with these companies on these fantastic products. You can get them at gmadeals.com or scan that QR code over there on the screen. And we'll be right back here on GMA. Stick around.
And welcome back. Now to some headlines that we're following on this Saturday morning. A surfer killed in a shark attack in Australia. Authorities say a shark mauled a 57-year-old man at Long Reef Beach near Sydney earlier today. Fellow surfers pulled him from the water after the attack. He later died from his injuries. The beach is now closed as wildlife experts scan the waters for more shark activity. The last time a person was killed by a shark in Sydney was in February 2022.
Wow. And tonight could be the night someone strikes it rich in the massive Powerball drawing. The jackpot now a whopping $1.8 billion with a B dollars. The winner, who matches all 6 numbers, can take home a lump sum of $826 million. Your odds of winning, though, 1 in 292 million.
Wow. And to the U.S. Open, Carlos Alcaraz outpaced Novak Djokovic in a tense and decisive matchup. Now Alcaraz is gearing up to face Jannik Sinner in the men's final. Over on the women's side, Aryna Sabalenka and Amanda Anisimova will go head-to-head this afternoon. You can catch the U.S. Open women's final today, starting at 4 p.m. Eastern on ESPN.
Great matchup.
Yes. Big day of sports. Big day of sports. All right, we now have a story here about colleges going pet-friendly. Okay, they're allowing students to bring their dogs and cats, and in one case, bunnies, to school. Take a look at this.
Some colleges have gone to the dogs.
See? Good boy.
Federal law requires colleges to allow service animals, but a growing number of universities are admitting pets. From Stevens College in Missouri to Stetson University in Florida,
I'm very popular among my friends.
And not just cats and dogs.
We're talking bunnies, even bearded dragons.
Eckerd College in St. Petersburg, Florida, allows students to bring their non-venomous, non-disruptive family pets to live with them after the first semester.
Zuko spin.
Zuko belongs to 21-year-old Eckerd senior Sophia Nocera. Zuko, a 7-year-old border collie, lives in Sophia's room in a special pet dorm, along with her panther chameleon, Darwin.
The best thing is that he just keeps me motivated. With him here, I have a set routine, waking up at 7 every morning, getting a walk in, walking throughout the day.
I think pets are such a part of our lives, and it brings a lot to campus. It offers a lot of support for students. The overwhelming majority just love seeing them around.
Zuko has helped Sophia meet people on campus and provided emotional support too.
I think Zuko keeps me grounded. I could be having the worst day ever. I could have failed a test, but I can come home and give my dog a hug.
Of course, balancing pets and school is not for everyone.
Having a pet on campus as a college student is a big responsibility that not everyone can handle, and that's totally okay.
For those who can, there's even a bona fide graduation ceremony at Eckerd for the paws and the claws.
And Dr. Adam Chrisman, a veterinarian with 1 million followers on TikTok, is right here, but also the healthiest dog in America because his dad's a vet.
Right.
Clark W. Griswold is also here.
Yes.
Okay, so what are the pros and cons of bringing your pets to school?
Yeah, so the pros, obviously, for stress relief and mental health. It decreases that, that stress, that cortisol levels, and increases that feel good, that oxytocin, and it helps with that loneliness that they feel. So that's one of the things. And also, it teaches students responsibility. That selfless act of love goes such a long way. And what I love, too, is the social connection. I mean, there's Clark right here, but they're absolute instant icebreakers. Some of these students, they have a hard time making friends. So when they have a dog or a cat on campus, boom.
Yeah, we didn't like you till you brought him.
Right, you know it.
By the way, look, we just got a shout out. First of all, the name Clark W. Griswold, perfect, and the bow tie.
The bow tie.
Yeah.
So
look at his little bow tie. I'm telling you, such a distinguished gentleman.
Yes,
he is. And for kids going away from home, obviously being able to take a piece of home with them would be huge. But college is a time where kids don't often have a whole lot of money. So any budget-friendly tips?
Yeah, absolutely. So certainly there's affordable veterinary clinics around campus. That's a big thing. So, chat and see what other veterinary hospitals are offering, usually some student discounts, and focus on the prevention. It's much more expensive with an emergency than it is when you have to prevent things such as vaccines and so forth.
What about some potential hazards on campus, aside from like rowdy roommates and, parties and things like that? What are some things that if you're going to bring your dog to a school, how do you, what do you need to look out for?
Yeah, because it's chaotic, right?
Yeah.
So there's a whole boatload of things that we have to watch out for. Grapes and raisins is one thing that comes to top of mind because you're picking and chewing and those. Chocolate toxicity for sure. Grapes and raisins causes kidney failure. Dental floss. Cats love to get into that linear foreign body stuff, so that's pretty crazy too. And of course, some of these snacks like protein bars, it can really lower their blood sugar and cause some serious problems with their liver and low blood sugar. Real problems. So that, and also we got to watch for sugar-free gum.
But you know what? Pets have feelings too, right? And they'll hurt if they feel like they've been left behind.
Right.
So how do you deal with that?
Yeah, you try to redirect that into something more productive. So whether take them to a dog park or take them over to grandma's house, make it more productive, because there are times where dogs would just look out that window and are they coming home? I know. So you can even FaceTime them too. That helps a little bit, but try to redirect that into something more positive for them.
FaceTiming the dog. I haven't tried that yet. I got to do that with Copper when we go away. Doctor, as always, we appreciate you coming in.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Clark W. Griswold, nailing it in his first live TV experience. We're back now with ABC's Secret Savings. Will Gans is here with smart solutions to everyday problems at a terrific price just for GMA viewers. And this morning, we're all about self-care. Everything here is shoppable. Except for Geo, of course.
Name the price.
Not for
America, you
not
can't
yet
have
for sale. Not yet. All right, Will, what's going on here?
Okay, so let's say you just indulged in some coffee ice cream during Pop News.
Yeah, that's
you want to
exactly
get a quick calorie burn in. This is amazing from Life Pro. This is a sleek walking pad. It goes all the way up to a 3.8.
Yeah, hit it, go too much.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Crank it up.
So the great thing about this is that it has such a small footprint, right? So you could keep it under a desk. If you have a standing desk, you could use it in the office. You could slide it under a couch at home. A lot of the girls on TikTok talk about cozy workouts. So when the weather gets cooler, you want to be home, you're watching Netflix, but you're also getting your steps in. Now you have no excuse not to get your steps in thanks to this. It has wheels underneath so you can slide it wherever you need it, keep it under the bed.
That is a great price. I thought this was going to be more money.
Amazing, right? So today you'll save 44% and get free shipping from LifePro. Gio not included.
Yeah. Gio, you got to name the price on that one.
All right.
What's next here?
Let's get a breath of fresh air, shall we, with Miko. These are amazing air purifiers. They eliminate particles like dust and pollen of rooms up to 770 square feet, which is fabulous. They have smart features, which means you can connect them to your phone if you want to, turn it on while you're not home or whatever.
Compact. Tight and tidy.
Yes, sleek. And today you'll save more than 50% and get free shipping.
Free shipping.
Miko.
Love it.
All right, let's talk about Clean.
Oral hygiene, very important, yes.
So this is like the Rolls Royce of toothbrushes, perhaps. A sonic toothbrush, some of them have up to 80,000 movements per minute. So you're getting dentist level clean with these toothbrushes, you guys. We also have the water flossers, which are fabulous for gum health.
Yeah, these things are
So this is, yes, exactly. A simple routine that your dentist will appreciate. You don't have to lie to him and say that you haven't been flossing when you have the water flosser there. Everything from Clean today, at least 40% off.
Wow, okay, excellent.
Can't beat that.
All right, what's next?
Salon level manicures, if we can. The Mini Luxe is designed to strengthen, protect, and enhance nails. All of their polishes are non-toxic and aid-free. The cuticle oil, which is right here, will make it look like you got a manicure whether you did or didn't. And it's really, really great to strengthen your nails, soften the cuticles, repair dry skin. We also have lightweight creams here that will add a layer of hydration to your hands. Hands are how you can actually tell how old somebody is, so you want to take care of your hands at all time. Our prices today are all slashed in half.
In half.
Yes.
Just a couple fellas talking manicures.
That's exactly. Putting the man in manicure.
The man in manicure.
That's
I love
right.
it. All right, what's up?
All right, this is treating your feet from Feets, okay? Podiatrist-backed treatments from Feets. We have the foot peel mask that over the course of a couple days, you wear it, and then over the next several days, shedding old, dead, and callous skin to give your feet a nice, beach-ready vibe, if you will. We also have the foot and heel cream with Manuka honey. That's great. We have the hydrating foot mask, and then this foot spray is a powerful deodorizer should anybody need that. You'll save 50% on the entire assortment from Feets today. Look, Gio's running to the deals.
You know who's gonna need the foot spray.
Hey! What?
Oh, come on, Gio. Let's get here we go. There you go. Now you're looking good.
And now I'm also 44% off.
That's right. You got it. All right. Will, thank you very much. Gio, thank you. Now he's now actually running. We've partnered with all of these companies on these great bargains, and you can get them by scanning the QR code right there on the screen.
Now on GMA with a look at how menopause can impact your health. Rhonda Hunt is a fitness trainer at Barry's and is here with a couple of fellow trainers to help show us the ropes, some ways to get healthy as you enter menopause. So Rhonda, you say you see menopause as a challenge, and there are things that women should remember.
Yeah, absolutely. And challenge is an understatement. Your body goes through so many changes. And I think one of the most important things to keep in mind is you're not alone. Every woman is going to come to this place in their life, and it's going to be different for each one of us. So you need kind of like a community of people around.
Tap into your community.
You got to have a tribe, someone like your family members, your girlfriends, your doctors. Definitely ask all the questions. Share your vulnerabilities. Say, hey, I'm having a tough time with this.
Yeah.
And absolutely, you gotta laugh because these things start happening to you and you don't know, like, who is this person?
Yeah, so much that's out of your control. So find the humor in it, a way to roll through it.
Exactly.
How does menopause affect your overall health, body, and fitness goals?
Well, everybody is going to have different symptoms and their intensities. And I think what's really important is that as you go through these changes, this isn't the beginning of the end. Like, we still got a third of our life to live, and we want to live it well. Keep moving, stay strong, and keep that confidence going.
Yes, keep moving. And what should women experiencing menopause focus on when it comes to exercising and to improve bone density?
most important for bone density, resistance training.
Okay.
Strength training.
Yeah.
But you also need flexibility and cardio. It's good for your heart, your brain, your whole circulatory
All these
system.
things. We're going to get into it. What's the first move that you're going to show us?
Shoulders. Hips and shoulders are big joints.
Yeah.
They take a brunt, so we're going to go for great big shoulder circles. Just open up, feels good
to
already,
open
right?
up, yeah.
If you really have tight shoulders and you want to make it a little deeper, you can always grab a band or even a broomstick. Yeah. Take that up and over, and you're gonna love this.
Okay.
Especially if you're hunched over a desk all day long.
Yeah.
Do you love it?
Oh my gosh.
I love it.
That feels so good.
It feels so good,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
It's something very easy to do.
It is.
It
And you can just
is.
do this at home standing up.
Yes.
Okay. So Antonia, how does this next move help us? You hear a lot about like lift heavy and things like this.
Which we should all do, but listen to your body always.
Yes.
We'll be doing a strength training move. We'll be doing a squat, which
Okay.
is a great compound movement that incorporates all the muscles in your lower body.
Yeah.
So let's get this set up, yeah?
Okay.
All right, feet are hip width apart,
Yep.
toes are slightly turned out. You're looking for a chair behind you.
Okay.
Hip hinge back, body weight in your heels, and you come on up. Beautiful, push through your entire foot. So we're working our quads, front of our legs, hamstrings, back of our legs, our glutes, our booty. Yeah, big one. And then we're working our calves. So we can also take this up a notch. We've got some dumbbells, so feel free to grab some. You're gonna hold them by your sides, roll the shoulders back, same setup, and this time you're picking up your grocery bags. I just say that because this is how I pick up my grocery bags. And you're sitting back and thighs are parallel. You go as low as you can go.
I love this.
Your form is perfect.
Thank
by
you.
the
I
way.
ran yesterday and didn't stretch afterwards, so
You
that
did
felt
great.
really good.
Great, great
And
job.
Alicia, cardio, so important. What are you going to show us?
I'm going to show you high and low cardio moves because some people won't be able to do.
Yeah.
So you just go tap out to the right and left, right?
Yeah.
So if you have any joint issues, anything like that, and then if you want to level it up, you can just do a regular jumping jack, right?
I'm in heels, so I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
But okay, good stuff. And these are like easy to do at home in your living room while you're watching GMA. I even got a little bit of out of breath. Thank you, ladies, so much for this.
Yeah.
It was nice to get the band back together today,
It really
right?
was.
You had a trip, I had a trip.
You guys make some great music together, this
Aw,
band right here.
It was back to school. We
Especially
sent
during
Will Gans
commercial
off to
breaks.
class this week and everything.
Yeah.
Backpack. Yeah, make sure you get an apple for the teacher. Thank you, Will.
Thanks for starting your day with us.
And more news on ABC News Live. Have a great weekend, everybody.
See ya.